What's up, everybody? Welcome to week 26 here on the 52 Horrific Weeks of 1988. I am your host, Mood616, and thank you once again for stopping in. Alrighty, guys, week 26, and you know what that means? It's the midway point in the 2014 calendar year. So it is, I was going to say June 1st. It is July 1st, and that means it is Canada Day, so happy birthday to Canada out there. Gotta represent. The remaining films went into the randomizer, hit that random button, and we've got Elvira, Mistress of the Dark. Man, I was really stoked to see this one come up. I haven't watched this film in a long time. I know, this one, it's kind of the oddball out of this 88 series because it's kind of, it's more of a comedy than a horror film, but, you know, it definitely has its moments. But anyways, getting into the plot of this one, if you do not know what it's about, of course, it follows your main character of Elvira. She has just recently quit her day job, or her night job, at this local kind of TV gig that she does. She's a host of, like, this horror television network thing. And, but she's got plans to move to Las Vegas and start up her own show at the Flamingo. There's only one problem. She doesn't have any money to do it. Now, she tells the owner of the Flamingo that she's going to have the money when she gets there and stuff like that, so she can start up her own show. Coincidentally enough, just after she quits her job, she gets a telegram from this lawyer in this small New England town stating that her great aunt has passed away and that she needs to attend the reading of the will, because, you know, there might be something in there for her. So, of course, she's ecstatic about it, and she hops in her car and makes her way to this New England town, where she is obviously she sticks out like a sore thumb in this small town. Now, the small town is like, everybody is square, uptight. It's a small little town, so it's got that type of mentality, and she obviously looks a lot different than everyone's there. So anyway, she makes her way into this reading of the will, and she ends up not getting really what she wanted. She was expecting to hit the jackpot. Of course, she does not hit the jackpot. She ends up with her great aunt's raggedy old house, which is actually pretty cool in my opinion. Her punk rock dog, which is pretty interesting, and a book. So that's pretty much all she gets. And now she's really pissed off because she's kind of stuck there. She has no money to get out of the town, and she doesn't really know what to do. But, one thing leads to another. She starts not really having a relationship with this guy named Bob, but this guy Bob's kind of helping her out and stuff like that because she's sticking out and he feels kind of bad for her and whatnot. But little does she know that her uncle, who was also at this reading, is actually out to get this book that she inherited. What she doesn't know about this book is that it's actually a book of, like, the occult. It's basically, it has to do with witchcraft and stuff like that, and she later finds out that her aunt was a witch and stuff like that, and, her uncle's got some greater plans with this book. So now it's basically a fight for her survival because the whole town kind of turns on her at one point. And so that is, basically the breakdown of the film for you. Now my thoughts on this one. Cassandra Peterson, who plays Elvira, she does a fucking fantastic job. She's so good in this character. Now, the movie is basically a spoof of, like, and they even mention it right in the film, of, like, old Roger Corman films and whatnot and stuff. Now, I would say probably the first 2 acts of this film it's basically a comedy. Getting into the 3rd act, the whole atmosphere and mood of the film kind of changes, but it keeps that same charm. So the first two acts of the film are very comedic. Then the tone kind of changes when the horror elements start to kick in with the witchcraft and her uncle and stuff like that. Very cool. I love how they managed to keep that same type of charm and that same type of mood with the atmosphere changing. Very cool, man. She does a fantastic job in this film. Now, I once read somewhere that there's like 60 plus boob jokes in this film, which totally makes sense. And I think most of the boob jokes in the film actually come out of her mouth, to be honest. There's a really funny joke in this film. It's just basically a statement. It's not even, it is a joke, but somebody says to her, it's like, why don't you ever change? I just love that comment to her because, well, she's Elvira. She has to keep up her image, right? She is a character. I thought that was a pretty funny thing. Now, when doing a review of a film like this, it's kind of hard because with, you know, like I said, most of the films is a comedy, so you don't really want to give too many of the jokes away and stuff like that if you've never seen it, so I'm not going to get into any of that. But the overall feel of this film is very charming. It's funny. There's so many good one-liners. There's some cheesy ones, but it's funny. It's never really over the top and kind of silly goofy. I mean, there is times where there is goofy parts, but it's not like, oh yeah, you just kind of shake your head at it, you go, what the fuck. It's not like that at all, man. It's really funny and actually kind of clever and stuff. I really like the whole angle of her, you know, being a horror host and stuff like that. And there's actually one point in the film where she ends up actually getting everyone together in the town because all they have access to is watching like rated G films at this local cinema and stuff. And then she goes and hosts her kind of like a horror midnight showing and stuff like that, and then kind of does like a prelude to like her show that she wants to do in Vegas and stuff, which doesn't go so well for her. But that whole scene, that whole flash dance scene is fucking hilarious. And then the very end scene in the film, which is absolutely hilarious. You can catch glimpses of it on the menu in the background. Absolutely hilarious. The song is ridiculous and funny. But I think everyone does a good job. Her uncle, the guy that plays her uncle in this film, does a really good job too. He's creepy and he's mean. It's pretty cool. So of course this movie has very, very little kind of violence and gore and stuff like that. There is one scene with, you know, with a hand and a little bit of stabbings and stuff, which ultimately probably gave it the PG-13 rating that it does have. But overall, fun movie. Every time this movie's funny. It cracks me up. It makes me smile. It's a really good time. If you've never seen this, definitely check it out. So, if I had to rate this one, I'd probably give it. I think I'm going to give it about an 8 out of 10. I think it's really well worth it. I think you know, Cassandra Peterson does. She's so good as Elvira. She's so fucking good, and she's so beautiful. But yeah, I don't really know what else to say about it. I don't want to give anything away or whatnot and stuff. So, but yeah, anyways, Elvira, Mistress of the Dark. Check this out if you've never checked it out. It's fantastic. So anyways, guys, that's going to do it for week 26 here on the 88 series. Once again, happy birthday to Canada. And yeah, hopefully this review will be up before the day is over, but I doubt it's going to be. So, like I said, I always record videos at nighttime. Anyways, guys, I'll be back with week 27. And once again, I won't know what the film is going to be, so hope to see you guys there. Peace out, homies.